Now we find ourselves working on the head, neck, and shoulders. So, lots of different ways, lots of different things to do. So I'll just do a few techniques and then I'm going to add a few acupressure points. So I'm going to start with some alternating compression. So I'm using my body weight. So that rocking motion again. And one thing I notice when I'm doing this is if my hands are closer to the center compressing, you have more concentrated movement through the core. But if you go out laterally and depress towards the acromion process, you get more of a depression of the shoulder girdle and the energy seems to dissipate out. So that's why I do alternating compression to address both of those things. Alright, one hand coming underneath here and just do a little slight lateral flexion. So my hand is hooking up underneath, so it's on this side. So that when I lean with my body weight this way, I support here. So it's a nice lateral flexion. As opposed to, this would be more rotation, right? But when the nose is upright, this is pure lateral flexion. Other side. Some nice things to open up. And my fingers are going to come on either side of the spinous processes, just at the base of the neck. And it's a wave motion, so I'm going to come up and back so we get some general looseness in the neck. And come up until the occipital ridge. So I do 2 or 3 times. Then I'm going to come and this is bilateral, so I'm going to hook up underneath the occipital ridge. So I'm feeling first on both sides for the mastoid process, the bony protuberance here, and I'm coming behind it. So I'm hooking up underneath. So you're going to assist them with a little cervical traction, but also you're addressing the suboccipital muscles and starting to address the acupressure points up underneath there. So just leaning back. Extension through posterior cervical is very good for balancing neck and shoulder relationship. And when you get a nice traction, you can see the chin tucking slightly. That's a good indicator that you're getting some nice extension through the posterior cervicals. Now just a little circular friction to loosen. Addressing a nice point up underneath here. And this is point on the gallbladder meridian called gallbladder 20. So if you would just feel for yourself, so take your thumbs and palpate on either side for the mastoid processes. Yes, and then you move thumb within medial up underneath the occipital ridge and bring your head back. And you feel a concavity like a little dip. That's gallbladder 20, and sometimes it can refer into your eyes pretty easily. You should feel dull ache, do y'all?
In the eyes.
Huh?
I feel the eyes.
Yeah, I felt that my eye too. So, come on. But this is a very good point always to work. In Chinese medicine, the name of the point is called wind pond because all the excess energy in the head collects in the base of the neck because usually we're like this, exactly, and it closes off that space. You know, because we have so much of this, either from computers or from doing this. Hey, I don't know what it's from mostly. It's one of those two, or maybe a combination. But nonetheless, it gets caught there. So that's why posterior extension by tucking the chin and lifting from the top of the head, very important. It changes your whole gait when you're walking. When you're walking, if you just tuck your chin a little bit and feel like a slight elevation, everything sort of aligns underneath that, and you can ambulate more readily. So to include some softening into the gallbladder 20 is good. So you can come and do stimulation by leaning back. Or if you want to do a little bit more consistent pressure on the side, one side at a time, I've been doing this. So I take the pads of my fingers and find the point, and then I'm just going to put my hand on the mat and have the head turn right on it, so it's the weight of their head that's stimulating the point. So this is very nice.
Can you show the point on this side?
I
since
will.
I mean,
I will.
okay. Sorry.
It's okay, but I will. So, because you want to be here a little bit, right? The whole point of sustained pressure in a point is you can wait until they let go if they are a little bit. So, as far as on the other side, and just to go stimulate the other side, while it's still here, you feel for the point there and place your finger there, and you're going to do the same thing. Turn it onto here so that you go right into the other point. And it's very nice. And again, you know, natural contact. Anytime you can use their body weight to stimulate points, you know, we just more readily let it in. Right, coming up under here and just pressing up into the bottom and letting their body weight do the work. There's something I experience myself when somebody does that to me. I let it in. So you're going to come out of here.
Well, you have more control.
Exactly. It's like when we were working on the abdomen yesterday and emphasizing about working with the breath because of that. It instills in them that they are indeed in control, as we are. It's good to be reminded. So that's the empowering point of it, I mean. So then we're going to do a few things. We did lateral flexion. Now I'm going to do some sustained pressure just to stretch out the posterior cervical, because once you do those points and release a little bit, it's good to get some sustained stretch. So in supine, you can do supported stretch. I can just let it hang out just for a little bit. It's okay, Mom? Sweet. You had a snafu, I read on the message. Transportation.
Yeah, I went to my address on
Were there-
public trans, and then it felt right. All the streets were the same. Like Fayette was involved.
Were there any massage therapists at that other place?
No,
Oh, it's a track.
none.
Zero, just you.
And then, so then, you know, I'm standing there, so I called an Uber, and then his GPS was like taking him.
It's like a natural neck pillow.
It is.
Right?
Oh, I might cry.
One of us is going to, I know.
I've never seen that before.
This is what happens in the basement all the time. It's just things like this.
That's right.
Okay, let's just stop there. We'll do a little bit.